Welcome back, episode 85 of Revisited, I believe it is. Yep, 85. I was correct. It's been a while. There's been some personal stuff. Our power went out, so that was the big stink, which is why we're delaying viewer request month until next month. We're going to finish up Drits. We're going to do some regular stuff this month and then viewer request month next month. And it also gives us a chance to save it because you guys are bums and you don't know what you're doing. This episode is about a fan favorite, totally not Mark, Bakugo, Power versus Heart, in parentheses, My Hero Academia.
Oh, I'm glad he added that. I just realized in the heart part, it's very apt. Yeah, I was I didn't know Mark had read that much of My Hero. Cause going into it, it's like I thought he only read like the first season, but he's pretty far into it, and I thought he would, put out videos or something, but it's not. So the description: since My Hero Academia is coming back for the fourth season, I thought it'd be fitting to start talking about some of their characters. Bakugo is one of my favorites, and he's a perfect fit for the Anatomy of Anime series I'm making. Sit back and relax as I explain what makes Bakugo tick.
Also, apt for the heart.
I don't want to do this.
No, this is bad. This is really bad. One is Mark, and two is Bakugo.
It's always a bad combination. And this is fresh Mark takes. Like the Bleach stuff. This I don't know what he thinks about My Hero other than that whole thing. But yeah, Bleach fans on that man's neck.
Are you serious?
Yep.
For what?
Small things that he said.
Such as
I didn't even watch it. I didn't even just in case we want to do something with it. Do something. I just know that people are getting on him.
About small thing, he's gonna quickly learn Bleach fans are nuts.
Because he liked it, as far as I could tell. I'm assuming he just had some problems, or maybe it's the whole, because I know he said that he didn't like it the first time going through it. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's that, and explaining why. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so stupid weird. But again, Bleach fans are a different breed. They've been mocked for so long. It's just like we're not taking anything from nobody. Yeah, I guess we just get into it.
To me, there's nothing more interesting in storytelling than...
Is that loud to you?
Yes, it absolutely is.
That's so weird because it was. Alright, let's try like 20. And let's start that over.
To me, there's nothing more interesting in storytelling than when a character undergoes a major personality shift. And one of the most important
if it's done well, not just the fact that it's done. Because the Vegeta thing, I don't believe.
There's no reason from what we've seen, he turned from where he was to where he is today. Because it didn't seem like he had much affection for Trunks or Bulma. But now he's all about family.
After the Cell arc, he just goes, I'll never fight again, and he flies away. So did he just fly back to Bulma's place? And for what purpose did he do that? Okay, I've talked about this before, but he showed that he cares about Trunks. Shot in the chest, rah, whatever. But then in the Boo arc, he just goes, I haven't held you since I was a baby. Why since you were a baby? Why not? Did you care or do you not care? What's the caring level? Are you unable to express your feelings like that or what? What's going on? I don't know. But I don't understand what Bulma sees in Vegeta and what Vegeta sees in Bulma. There was that one little dumb line in Super of just like saying just love strong women.
Yeah.
And are we just going to be like Bulma's vain enough that she's like, oh, big muscles, cutie guy? Because there's got to be conversations for these characters. And I don't. And that's one of the least believable relationships in any anime. There was
the ending of Super, one of the endings, where Bulma's just looking sad out the window with rain, and then Vegeta's putting on his armor, and she looks back at him kind of sad. So Does she not like him going off to battles? I don't know what their downtime is. I don't know where the love comes from. Does Vegeta just see Bulma as, like, property? It's mine, don't touch her. Or is there love? And if there is, where is it? Where is it coming from?
I gotta assume that he's just very unattentive. Because you gotta look at it like...
Absolutely!
Trunks turned Super Saiyan, and he turned Super Saiyan enough that he can turn it on and off. But he never felt that surge of energy on Earth to be like, what's that? He never sensed that that's my son, because you can sense people's energy and be like, that's that person.
Differential energy.
Yeah.
Because Goku, when he's doing his instant transmission, he needs energy he recognizes.
So So I don't just like that Vegeta changed, because there's no catalyst for the change. There's no catalyst for that change. There's no believability for that change that we see. So yeah, there could absolutely be some stuff in that 7-year gap, but I would like to see it. But there absolutely can't be, because the month ain't held Trunks since he was a baby. And we don't get to see.
Yeah, I don't care about character changes.
Yeah,
if it's just they were this and now they're this and now it's more engaging and interesting. No, how did they get there? That's what interests me. And then what do you do with them now that they're there? That's what interests me. Like in the Subaru, that flip on a dime, Bush, hated it.
Powerful changes a character can have is known as a positive change arc. This positive change a character...
Is it?
It's known as this.
Positive change
okay.
arc.
I got 1 second.
Maybe we're just illiterate with these types of things. Ignorant to the literacy things. It exists?
A positive change arc is similar to a transformative arc, but usually not quite as dramatic. A positive change arc requires that a character experience positive change over the course of a story. I guess I have never heard of that.
But did he just say a character changing, period? Or was it good? I gotta go back and listen.
Instructor undergoes important and a major personality shift. And one of the most important and powerful changes a character can have is known as a positive change arc.
Okay, most important and okay.
This positive change a character undergoes, if used correctly, can elicit very strong emotions and reactions from its audience.
No, this is not the one. This is not the one.
This is trash, Mark. This is Mom doing off screen. Come on now. If this had happened, let's say a week after Future Trunks got killed, and you know, let's just say this Trunks is that age or whatever, and he did that, that'd be something.
The death of my son made me realize how precious the time I have with my son is.
But he's getting nipped on the cheek and getting petty enough to deck him in the face. No, I don't believe this is not good, Mark.
This is not the one.
But this is something that he can easily point to because it's Dragon Ball and he knows about it.
But wouldn't a more apt one be like Piccolo? Because at least we see him carrying over Gohan and giving him a little bit of food when he's downtrodden and all that. As opposed to, I've never hugged you, let me hug you.
But he didn't think about this.
This is effective. This is the well done one.
He didn't think about that. Boy, Trunks' hair looks terrible here.
One show in particular on TV right now that pretty much acts as a crash course in the fundamentals of character writing is My Hero Academia.
This was, just to note, like 2 years ago, y'all.
A crash course in character writing. Could you go back to... Yeah, that's full shot. Okay. Nina in the trash. What has she done? Who is she? Uraraka, what change has she gone through, Mark? Kaminari, come on. What are we doing here? Ida, sure. Tokoyami? Absolutely not.
Mei Hatsume, there's been no real character stuff there. She loves technology.
Is that Sero's head peeking out in the bottom left?
Fundamentals of character
Jesus
writing.
Christ, it was. Why is he wasting cover space on Zero?
Can you tell me a positive thing Sero has ever done? Let alone positive change arc.
He did something in that
arc.
Not the character, the class versus class thing, but I haven't read it since it came out and I don't remember, so he did something. I know he did something.
Cool.
Is My Hero Academia. Seriously, it's amazing. And it has one of the most real and engaging characters in anime right now.
Real and engaging.
Again, engaging is based on what you are engaged with. I do not find Bakugo engaging. So what does this mean for me now that you're speaking on Katsuki Bakugo? Real. I don't know what you mean. Three-dimensional, one of the most we can see ourselves in them, relatable.
Pampered little boy grows up thinking he's the best and then realizes that he's not the best and then he has to grow to actually be the best. Is that real? I don't know anybody like that. I don't know anybody with such an ego in the 3rd grade, just like, I know everything, I can do everything.
Yeah, and there's some egos with some 3rd graders, but not
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So it's not anybody is. There's people like Mina. Mina's a happy-go-lucky girl. How is that not a real one of the most real people? Because there's more of that than a 3rd grader that skips a grade and then they're lost in the 5th grade.
Katsuki Bakugo. Obsessed with winning to a psychotic degree, incredibly talented and downright cruel at times. I'm totally not.
Why has this never been tapered by any of his teachers, his mother?
His mother has been putting hands to him. Hold up.
Do more. Don't just be like, bam, and then, no, we gotta address the problem, not just hit you and then just go, stop acting like that.
But
that's not how this
addressing
works.
the problem and how many times are teachers bringing problems with Bakugo up to the parents? Because it seems like a lot of his cruelty is out of the view of the teachers. When he did this with Deku, it was after class. The first time we see him like mad at Deku, they're all just walking together. How much is shown in front of teachers to where teachers go, Mrs. Bakugo, do something about this bastard?
But then you got to look at the home life. I remember a scene where Bakugo was brushing his teeth and his mom said something. He just says, "Shut up." He just
she yells back.
So he's just brazen enough to do that, but he's hiding in front of teachers. That would mean that he knows that he's doing something wrong.
Yeah, I would have, or something he would get in trouble for. He knows just yelling at his mom is not going to get him in trouble.
But it does get him in trouble.
She yells back. That's not technically
Didn't
trouble.
she hit him?
I think she hit him when they were trying to get him into the dormitory. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she hit him.
But if you're willing enough to hit him that quickly, that's not a first time thing.
Oh, definitely not. Again, put hands to the boy.
So we have to be like, he's smart enough to do it outside of the view of teachers because he know that it's either, number one, a bad thing or he will get in trouble. But he's cool enough to do it in front of his mom, even though he's going to get in trouble.
But what is the level of trouble? Like a smack upside the head?
What's the level of trouble for a teacher?
It might be more severe.
It could be like, if it's on his record, he might not go to UA and they might not accept him for something like that. If it's just like bullying.
But these are all assumptions.
100%.
And this is how to write a positive character arc.
No, it's not how to write it. It was done so poorly. You know what? Let's just get into it.
In order to write a successful positive change arc and get that Vegeta sacrifice moment we all love,
No. I don't love it. It's out of nowhere.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Because the Vegeta sacrifice moment, he goes, "This is for you, Bulma. Bulma, what relationship have we seen with you and Bulma? Have you guys had a conversation in the post time skip arc that we've seen? I don't remember any of them. So why should we believe that you feel anything for Bulma other than you just telling us that you do? Trunk, same thing.
You said you never held him. I'm going to do it right now, knocked out.
It'd have been better if you just went, this is for me. This is for all the bad things that I've ever done. I need to make amends. Instead of just like this false love for his family just because they're his family. I hate this moment. I loved it when I was a kid because I'm like, oh, Vegeta.
Big cool.
Big cool. Oh
Big
no,
sad.
he's really, really dead this time. 20 episodes later, oh, he back. No, he's back. He's just back. Shut up.
Character needs to begin his story believing a lie to be true. And over the course of their story, your character will be faced with circumstances.
What lie? He showed Vegeta, and what lie did Vegeta?
The best. That he's the best.
But is that a lie? Well, it has to be a lie because Frieza exists.
There you go.
Circumstances that prove their outlook to be wrong. There will be struggle, there will be pushback by them, but eventually there will be a tremendous moment of catharsis. So,
isn't that like every character ever?
That has an arc.
Yeah.
That has screen time and stuff like that. That have moments.
JoJo did it with a Nazi.
People hate it that they like the Nazi.
Like, what are we doing here?
how did Katsuki Bakugo develop? Well, at a young age, he gained his powerful quirk, simply dubbed Explosion. This quirk is a combination of his parents' abilities. His mother, Mitsuki, has the quirk Glycerin, which simply makes her skin produce a glycerin-like substance, while his father, Mizaru, has the quirk Acid Sweat, which allows him to secrete acidic sweat that can combust if friction is applied. These two quirks together gave Bakugo the powerhouse emitter-type quirk he now has. And with this explosive new...
I never understood why people hype this up so much. It's
Which
not a
quirk?
very good quirk. It's just an explosion.
It has a lot of utility.
It has utilities, absolutely, but it doesn't have the raw damage that's needed. Deku took it to the face and no all for one or anything, and that was enhanced and just like he put it all into it
Again, but he blew a building up. How much raw power does he need to take down a villain? I think he has enough to do so.
But is enough
shown.
worthy of such praise?
But again, the utility of it, because you could use it for defense, maneuverability, and offense.
I don't think that a kindergarten teacher is thinking about the maneuverability of throwing explosions in the air.
She basically went, that's going to develop into a powerful quirk.
But it's also limited by the fact that you need to sweat.
How is he sweating enough where he doesn't need drinks of water to rehydrate, and he's not just getting dehydrated constantly? How much... The real question is, how much does a drop of sweat explode for him? Mm-hmm. Because if it's just a drop and he's doing those big hand things, okay, yeah. But if he needs to, like, a pool of sweat to do one of his Housers... I don't understand how he's not dehydrated.
Yeah, because he's never really gone, I don't have enough sweat for this. And does his explosions cause heat enough for him to sweat, or is he immune to it? And if he's not immune to it, why aren't his hands burned?
Bakugo garnered an immense amount of praise at a rather young age. This praise only helped to sow the seeds of and develop his superiority complex.
先生、俺が1位になる。
As the years went on, this complex he had would only grow, his quirk being used as an intimidation technique against Midoriya, his quirkless friend? And I say friend in inverted commas because they sort of have a history where Midoriya tried to help Bakugo. Now, this particular instance is much more nuanced than one might think. The fact that it was Midoriya offering the help wasn't necessarily the issue. The issue was in how Bakugo might have been perceived as anything other than perfectly fine. Bakugo, in his mind, is a...
But he wasn't. surely in that moment you would think that he'd be like, dang, I'm outmatched, I'm outgunned, I don't care who helps me so long as I get to be alive.
Nope.
I don't understand that mindset of, you saved me. I truly do not.
Because you're not known in your mind as the best for a decade.
But I don't think that the manga really delved into that moment.
It also didn't delve into, because Mark's talking about the issue wasn't that Deku did it, it was that Bakugo could be perceived as anything less than perfectly fine or even perfect. But then, when they're trying to save him after he gets kidnapped, Deku goes, you took your hand out because he's not going to grab mine. So it is about Deku because he gladly took Kirishima's hand. Whereas Deku went, he will not grab my hand.
And Mark,
it is not about just being perceived as not perfectly fine. It is about Deku. Provably in the show.
I wonder if there was anything in that first chapter that... Because I remember we read it before, but I don't remember exactly what it said. I hate going to search for something and then Discord's like, hey, yo, we got a notification for you, and that screws it up.
Dude, I finna hate Discord's notification. I'll be typing something, and I'll try to hit back, and then it'll go, oh, you just wanted to open Discord. Cool.
That's not what I wanted to do, Discord. Why don't you chill out? I'll open Discord when I want to open Discord.
God, I hate Discord's notifications now.
Okay. I am here, All Might, punch, bam. You can be a hero. That's too far.
Young man, you too can become a hero.
Yeah, this is mostly... Yeah, it doesn't really go into Bakugo's head. It's mostly about Deku in this moment.
I think maybe when they fight.
He just says, Deku, that brat.
Okay.
And then he says, I'll blow you to pieces. How did I miss that whole page? Nope. Kachan, why you? So this is about Deku. Yeah, this is kind of exclusively about Deku. Oh, Mark! Alright, the end.
And to Bakugo, only weaklings need help. Weaklings are not winners. This is why once Midoriya announces that he is attempting the UA entrance exam...
I don't believe that he's gone through his life never needing a single amount of help. He's not the smartest in the class.
If that was the case, why would he accept the technology student stuff? Why wouldn't he go, no, my quirk is good enough, I don't need this bullshit.
You can get stronger with the aid of others. You can't make those grenade gauntlets, so you have other people to do it, and now you're stronger. Again, it's just that warped perception that I don't think that we've gotten enough of to fully understand it. And even if we did, there's still so many holes like that thing.
That's why it's good writing. The nuance of it.
I don't care about the nuance.
They don't outright state it. You have to infer it.
I don't want to interpret it. Tell me it.
Context.
Show me it.
Now, show me it. I would have definitely liked more of. Because it's truly just a bunch of people going, yeah, no, this is just what it is.
And that's always bad.
And it's very likely that's what it is, but there's also a chance that's not what it is. And without the author explicitly stating the thing, we can only infer of what we believe it to be.
Attempting the UA entrance exam, an entrance exam for the best superhero school in the country, Bakugo...
And Ojiro got in. He's got a tail.
He's got a tail, man. It'd be something if there were like 6, 7, 8 months in that class that were on his level, but there's like 3. And we don't see enough of the other classes and stuff like that in order to be like, dang. We don't see the big 3s class, for instance.
Nope.
How do they feel about what are they doing? Because they've gone through the whole force training, assumedly something to like strengthen their quirks to the level where it's so good. Instead of the beginning where it's like, oh, we're just noodling around with our quirks, whatever. They assumedly had to do that. So there's somebody
and
that's
more,
like,
and even more intense things, because there's no reason why Class 1A would go through all the things they went through, and the third year students wouldn't go through even more intense training and on the field types of things.
And they've also got 2 more years of using their quirks after that beef up. So why is there not those people coming up going, oh, this little piss baby quirk? There's 16 other months. Class of 20 people. There are 17 other people in the Big Three's class, assumedly, dropouts, deaths, whatever. 17 other people,
to other,
and we don't see them. Class 1B or 2B, I forget what it is.
It's
2A,
1B.
whatever that is. They got some pretty good quirks. Vine hair girl, over tail guy. Come on, what the is this? Onomatopoeia? That man's busted. I understand that the whole thing was get past them, but how does it weigh when what do you do to get into UA but not into 1A?
I don't know if 1A is the best class. It's more so just these are the best of the class, and we're splitting it between A and B.
But wasn't that Monama's issues of just like, ooh, class 1A, y'all think y'all so big?
Yeah, because they're A, technically. I don't know if there's a tiered system of classes. Because if there is, there's no reason Ojiro should be an A and Big Hand isn't an A.
Yeah, it might have just been my warped perception. I don't know. But I'm just...
quickly running through it.
Oh, you're not helping. It doesn't say anything. I don't care about their birthdays!
Maybe the difference between 1A and 1B?
Yeah, you look that up and I'll look up Monoma.
1A and 1B. What is the difference between... It gets mentioned multiple times. But realistically, no. Axel with good reasons, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, he hates them because of they became the center of attention following the USJ incident. Okay. So it's just a different class.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to put all 4th graders into the same math period.
Extremely angry. He wanted to be the only one from the class to have the guts to do it. Despite this, however, Bakugo would later go on to rank number 1 in his UA entrance exam, getting into the class 1A with Hero Eraserhead as the teacher. However, it's here Bakugo is faced with his lie and the reality.
This is the same thing that I have a problem with in Naruto of the whole Jonin's leading a group of Jigenings. Mm-hmm. Razorhead's busted.
Big busted.
Why he needs to be out in the fields? I understand Snipe. Get him in whatever classroom. He's not even a number 1 gunman that we learn. He's like, oh, that chick over there? So get him in the classroom. That's fine. Best Genus. Hey, everybody wears clothes.
Yeah,
can he only manipulate his genes or everybody
regardless, else's? If you're taking Quirk v. Quirk, I'd rather have a Eraserhead on the field than that Genus.
Yeah, that's just an issue, and it'd be one thing if he was teaching like the brainwash dude. If he was teaching a bunch of people like, you don't have a necessarily combat utility, so I'm gonna teach you how to do the combat
or out of
stuff.
Control quirks like Deku's, where
so he can chill him out, but. Just this class?
Yeah, if there was a centralized 1A class and the teacher was like midnight, and that's just the class. And then every Thursday there's a specialized class for people whose quirks might be out of control.
I didn't know. I guess Blood Man is the teacher of 1B. I didn't know that. Did they ever mention that? Whatever.
Sure.
Blood Man's busted as well. Get him in the field. What are you doing?
The real world. In the quirk apprehension test, where each student's quirk is put to the test through multiple assessments of their physical kind, Bakugo would go on to rank 3rd, being outplaced by Yaoyorozu and Todoroki, two extremely talented
Okay, he must be talking about the entire thing as opposed to just the toss.
students with powerful quirks in their own right. When it comes to academics, Bakugo is also highly skilled. However, he continued to place 3rd for the midterm exam, outplaced once again by Yaoyorozu, and for the first time, Ide, with Todoroki coming in 5th.
And again. No, that's fine.
No, it's not.
No, that's fine.
Did he just read this or did he also watch it?
I don't know. This is the editor editing, so I don't know.
Why wouldn't you? You know
That's not what Mark does. You know that's not what Mark does. Mark
But
never
how
does
can
that.
you be an authority on what things are the themes and the and all this positive character arc and all this bullshit, and you pronounce his name Ide?
I'm sorry. Can you not be, let's say, a fantastic English teacher but have horrible handwriting?
That's not the same thing.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
You're
is.
teaching the structure of a sentence.
And Mark is telling us the structure of an anime. Let's say. Continue. Yeah,
I'm not-
Yeah, busted.
No, I'm
bam,
not.
bam,
I'm not
bam.
Bullshit with you.
No, because you know you lost.
There's no loss here.
Yeah, there's
He's
a
an
win
authority
here.
figure on anime, and he can't take the time to pronounce a person's name correctly. It would be like if you're an English teacher and you have horrible spelling or dyslexia or something.
Well, that's ableist. Let's go back 3 minutes. Yeah. So this also must assume that Bakugo has never been in 2nd or 3rd place in his life, in his classes, for him to be so uptight about it. So we just also have to assume that he's always just been the smartest, the best with his quirks, the fastest. Whatever he's put his mind to, he has been the first.
Didn't Deku outrank him in tests at their old school? I can't remember that. I feel like Deku would have outranked him, but that's just me.
This time around, Bakugo, despite consistently placing towards the top of the class, is undergoing a personal crisis. A crisis that he rationalizes as being something to fix. You either come first or you lose in his mind. And for the first time, he's a
Why does he have that mindset?
That's a good question, because even if he's the best, or believes himself to be the best, is it just I am best or I am loser? I wonder if that's the mindset of people. There's a lot of character studies, not character study, but like psychology studies into quarterbacks, where to be a effective quarterback, you have to be competitive to an almost sociopathic degree, where every mistake is you will stew on it. Every positive is just like, yes, this is what I should be doing. So Bakugo in his mind going, yes, I should just be number one, and anything less than that is a loser and unacceptable. That's the only thing I could think of.
But again,
Because it's not showcased.
we have to just assume throughout the kindergarten to this point, he was number one all the time. Otherwise, he would have gone to try to fix that behavior, or would he just double up his efforts and be better next time and just go, yeah, I am the best? Or would he go introspective and going, it's not good for me to be to be the best and just get all pissy over being second in a math test.
And on top of that, Bakugo, right? Mark just went, for the first time, Bakugo is a loser. Where is the indication of that? Because if you are taking that at face value, it's your thing of he has just never been number 2 in anything ever for the past decade.
And I just simply don't believe
That's
that.
just unbelievable. A stupid foot race with kids, he might come in second. That's never happened.
I don't.
He's never been faced with an L to where he went, I gotta do something more here.
He's never been sick and missed 3 days of class and then got second on a test. I simply don't believe this.
Loser. And this is where Bakugo is similar to Vegeta in a lot of ways. He isn't someone who concerns themselves with wanting to be better and for others to know it. Bakugo's only concern is to prove himself to himself. Bakugo won't accept a win unless it's wholehearted. There's no half-assed.
Get that trash off of me. I love that. I want this piece of garbage.
But again, him having to prove this to himself, it would have been better
What does this mindset come from?
It'd been better if he had lost to somebody when he was younger and he's like, never again. Somebody was praised over him. Something like that, some catalyst that this comes from. It's not just you're the best and now he internalized that like, yes, I am the best and I can only ever be the best and anything other than best is number 2. Did he believe himself to be the best when he was, let's say, 9 and looking at All Might like, no, I'm better than you? Or did he realize that he's not better than him?
But his thing was, I will become better than him.
So why is he even angry at all about anything? If you're angry about, oh, I'm second place or third place in his math test, just be like, I'm going to be better than you next time.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous because it would have to, in his mind, go, I'm already worthy of being a pro hero. Because his mind would have to automatically go, I'm already above all the students. I should be already going out on the field with pro heroes because I'm going to be better than All Might. I don't understand the mindset.
And if he's just going, I'm the best in my age bracket, then that just means that outside of your age bracket, you're not the best and you know you're not the best.
It with this kid. You either fight him 100% or you get out of the damn way because you're wasting his time. A win that isn't earned isn't real, and Bakugo, despite having this warped outlook on what it takes to become a hero, is correct in a lot of ways at times. And that's admirable. This need to win, this superiority complex also stems from his admiration of the number 1 hero, All Might. While someone like Midoriya, who also admires All Might, believes that a hero is someone who helps everyone no matter the cost, Bakugo believes that a hero should be powerful, that they should have a strong will and never give up even in the face of defeat.
That's all absolutely fine, but did he never see an interview of All Might just being humble, like, hey, I'm happy to help people?
I ain't got time for that. I need the punchy stuff. That's the All Might I like, not the person.
Okay, so why isn't he absorbing that aspect of All Might?
But you see, that's the dichotomy between Bakugo and Deku. Deku sees
a
hero
goodness.
as a person, and Bakugo only sees the hero. See, Deku wants the person, and that's what matters. But for do you understand? I hope you understand.
So, if it's just about the strength thing, why isn't he just like a cage fighter or something? Why does he have to be a hero? He has to understand all the things that come with being a hero. It's not just the big, strong stuff. It's also the press. It's also doing the All Might stuff of saving people with a smile on your face, making people feel comfortable. He doesn't do that. He just saves people.
Yeah,
like,
but you make people by being strong. You make them feel safe.
No, people hated Endeavor.
Nope.
No, that was his whole arc. Positive arc.
What about the little kid that loved him?
Okay, it was a little kid, but it was a begrudging. Yeah, this muff is number 1. Whatever. Get in there, Genus. Get in there, Hawks. It was a begrudging.
Yeah, because he was a douchebag.
Yeah, because he's a douchebag like Bakugo.
Nah.
I don't remember the Endeavor Bakugo. That I was just rolling my eyes through that whole thing.
Oh, dude, it's in and out.
Did he ever sit him down and just like?
I literally just said it's in and out.
This is a general question. Mayhaps this will remind you of something, or maybe the audience will shed light on this, something like that. Did he ever look at Bakugo and just go, "I was like you, kid"?
I don't believe so.
I was obsessed with being number one.
I don't believe so because that's also a Endeavor arc, character arc. And I think he's coming to grips with what he is and wants to be. So I don't think he had the time to sit down with Bakugo.
Maybe a speech bubble when they're walking and he looks over just like, this kid is
again,
like me. But
in and out.
But it would have been good if this did not happen. If he goes, look, kid, I was like you. I was obsessed with being the best. I have been for some 20-something years. It has estranged me from my family. This is I'm number one right now. I don't feel anything really because it's just all it is a number.
Yeah, because you didn't win it.
Yep, that's what it would be. Because for somebody like Endeavor, it's just a number, and then what? It's nothing there, but you're the number one. Okay, now what? Yeah, what? You have the prestige, but you're not getting anything more.
But his whole thing was he never wanted to be number one. He wanted to be number one by beating All Might. He didn't want the number. He wanted the prestige, not the prestige, but the acknowledgement that he's the best. Now he's just the best because the best is gone. Which would be Bakugo's issue.
But it'd be good if there was something like that and just
Some
talk about the hollowness of being the best. Something. But it just wasn't. And that also go into...
Or it was and we don't remember.
Or it was and we don't remember.
Doesn't need help.
What did you do? You sitting on the...
I don't know if that was me or you.
You're sitting on it!
Nah. 50-50 chance.
In the face of defeat, a powerful hero doesn't need help to win, they just win.
Pause. He knows that All Might had a sidekick. That's just force. Again, all the enhancements that the other people give him, the grenade arms and stuff. He needs help with that.
Just force.
How does he have a roof over his head? Is he fine with that? Is he fine with accepting the help of his parents? Or is that something that's just like, they're my parents. They're supposed to take care of me.
They're strong enough to do it on their own, and so therefore Bakugo, to himself, is strong enough to do it on his own. Or so he likes to believe. Bakugo's seen his fair share of beatings and losses. The sludge villain, the cavalry battle, his battle against All Might alongside Deku, and even his capture by the League of Villains. But none shook him more to the core than his loss against Deku in the battle trial. His first and only real loss in the series thus far. Up until this point, Midoriya has shown no true fighting prowess. Yes, he has shown that he can think on his feet, but nothing to the extent of being able to win a fight. So for Bakugo to win should have been easy, but it wasn't. Midoriya used Bakugo's anger against him, baiting him to fight and give Midoriya and Ochako an opening.
He says that it should have been easy, but he's already seen the baseball thing, knowing that Deku has power. Mm-hmm. He knows that Deku got into UA, meaning that he has some level of... Even if Bakugo deludes himself to being like, he's not on my level, he's close to your level because he got into this elite school.
Bakugo, see, people are ascribing this as Bakugo just needs to be the best. No, Bakugo needed to crunch Deku under his heel.
For some reason. Because he was nice to him once.
Because you see Todoroki just moonwalk through the building and get the missile. And he's not like, in Todoroki, I gotta beat... It's, hey,
Unless
Deku. Unless he was.
To win the trial. There's a direct parallel here with the moment Midoriya tried to help Bakugo out of the river, in his mind at least. To Bakugo, this is Midoriya, on a much larger scale, exposing him as a weakling. Only this time, he has no excuse. This moment,
falling as any human would is a weakness. Being tactically minded and being exploited because of those tactics, it somehow makes you weak. No, you were outplayed. Accept it and move on. But he doesn't. Grow. He yells about it and screams like, never again. No, dang, you got me. That trick won't work twice though. Nothing. He just
I agreed with what everyone said, but I'm still gonna be the best.
Him just calmly going, you know, if I would have hit you, you'd be dead right now. Just you know, you had to get into my mind. That's the only way you could have survived, because fist to fist, you dead. No, yelling and raging. I don't like that.
This loss, it's a turning point for Bakugo, and what seems to be a point of no return for the relationship between the two young heroes in training. This was the battle that wounded Bakugo's pride and made him declare that he would never lose again. This is the moment Bakugo's lie that he holds to be true came face to face with reality, and he refused to accept it. In this moment of wounded pride, where we first see the cracks in the facade of Bakugo, he admits that he could never defeat Todoroki in a fight at his current level, that he must keep working, that he will become the #1 hero, thus further sowing the seeds of his rivalry with Midoriya.
Okay. And then and there, he shouldn't be this yelly character, or as much of this yelly character anymore.
Because he's already shown, that's a
facade.
Watch.
So why are we clapping when he's still just like, yeah, he's still lying to himself and everybody else. Yeah, he's changing from that lie. He's
accepting it and then still screaming about it.
No. You say that's the beginning of the growth, but then the next chapter, what has changed? What feasible thing other than the fact that I understand the character shouldn't just change on a dime. Oh, now he's a completely different character. But what more is there after that happens? The next chapter, other than us knowing that, oh, this is all a lie, this is all a facade, this is all just him bigging himself up.
I mean, what changed 50 chapters later?
I understand it's a gradual thing, but if you're outright yelling, my insecurities, I know that this is all a lie and stuff, but I'm gonna keep doing the lie. Especially since he's still doing it.
He's still doing it.
And talking to Miracle, who can kick his head off and should and would if he was a villain.
This rivalry would continue to grow and Bakugo's anger would continue to fester. From simple moments like Midoriya cheering during the sports festival to him using Bakugo's style of movement. The actions of Midoriya would continue to irk him more and more. And at this point, Bakugo had doubled down on his lie that he kept telling himself. He has refused to rethink his outlook and as a result is doomed to even greater failure further down the line after the...
And there you go.
I mean, but still, to this day, it's the same issue. But doomed to greater failure in what aspects?
I guess you could say that the whole he's getting kidnapped by a villain and he goes, Deku, do not help me.
But how's that a failure? A greater failure?
If he had accepted the fact that Deku is near his level, he wouldn't have been insecure enough to be like, I don't want this dude's help again, and would have accepted the help. And
no, he said, Deku, don't come after me.
Deku don't come after me.
Or Deku, stay away.
Yeah, because Deku was injured. I thought it was a whole hand grab thing right there. No. Yeah, I just misremembered that thing. Never mind.
What has been a greater failure? Failing the test? So he had to get the makeup professional license?
But then, what negative came about that?
If anything, a positive came because it actually showed some form of change in him. But then, it's so funny you say that it would have been great if Endeavor and Bakugo had that chat. But then Bakugo has that chat with a kid. It's like, I was like you, and you can't be this, and you gotta...
But I would have rather had it with Endeavor, somebody who has gained the title of the best.
Especially with 15, 20 years of experience.
Of just
as opposed to
bitterness.
3 months.
license exam, but we'll touch on that in a second. First, we need to discuss...
Oh, it was the provisional license exam. He just said it.
Okay.
After the provisional license exam,
after?
but we'll touch on that in a second. First, we need to discuss the final exams, the moment where Bakugo was forced to face his hero, All Might, alongside the person he seems to detest the most, Midoriya. Together, the two rivals would come together to face All Might head-on or escape for the exit, neither of which proving to be very viable options. This fight would be another moment where we see the differences in Bakugo and Midoriya's sense of what makes a hero. While Midoriya is scared and sees All Might as a god due to his power, Bakugo sees him as an opportunity to prove to himself that he is good enough, that he doesn't need help, and that he is strong. One believes...
The fact that he believed that he can do anything to
That he could All Might
is absolutely ridiculous.
And this was before he even knew that All Might was lowered strength. He thought he was gonna piece up Prime All Might.
The fact that he could believe that, I don't know where it comes from. Because he's going, dang, I can't beat Todoroki, but I can piece up All Might. In the course of...
I admitted to myself I would have been pieced up by Todoroki. But now, a month later, 2 months later, I can piece up All Might. I'm going to keep lying to myself.
Come on now. That's the stuff I don't like. This isn't an Usopp thing where it says, I'm a lie. Just to... Usopp is a very weird character because it's like, I gotta lie. Something like the Lucci thing of just, I'm going to lie for the purpose of Luffy getting up. Mm-hmm. That's something completely different. But something like this is just, even if he is lying to himself, like, I can beat All Might, where does that come from? Even if it's not about I can beat All Might, I can at least get a good hit in. Where does that come from? All these villains throughout these years, nothing to All Might. But me, I'm gonna be it's like those people that run up to Batman like, yeah, I'm gonna be the one.
I'm gonna punch the bat out.
If I saw Batman coming, I'd be like, it'd be the Austin Power things of, do you know who I am? Do you know how many anonymous henchmen I've killed over the years? And look at you, you haven't even got a name tag. You've got no chance. Why don't you just lie on the ground? Go on, son. I'd be like, no, I'm not gonna fight Batman.
It's just like the Supergirl thing where they shoot Superman and then punch him and he goes, the guns don't work. Why the punching?
It's just, I don't understand why Bakugo believes that anything could happen other than him being flat on the ground.
Looking up at the sky.
Yeah,
that's a pretty cloud.
I don't believe his confidence. I don't believe that confidence
but
that he has.
I don't think it's confidence in this if we're going with what Mark's saying and a lot of people saying. It's not confidence, it's delusion. He's delusional right now.
I don't believe the delusion. I simply do not.
It's hard to look into the mind of a delusional person because
it'd be easier if they allowed us into that mind because this is a manga. They can do anything. They can have any speech bubbles. They can have any past. They can have his quiet introspective moments. Don't get it really. And I don't believe it when big moments like this happen where he thinking that anything can happen against All Might.
They need to run, the other believes they need to fight. That is, until Bakugo puts aside his pride for one last-ditch effort. This was one of the most important moments in Bakugo's life. He compromised, albeit apprehensively, to work with Midoriya in this effort to pass the exam. Using his fighting genius and Midoriya's tactical expertise, the two managed a plan that inevitably allowed them to pass their exam. But not before Bakugo got a chance to show what he's made of. He realizes that in situations like fighting All Might, risks need to be made and pride needs to be checked at the door. And once done, he pushes his body to its absolute zenith. He tells Midoriya to run, essentially sacrificing himself so the two can pass the exam. As I said, this moment is incredibly important for Bakugo's character. Once executed, he is brought to...
And you see, this is just another piece of the puzzle. This is another...
Yeah, and that's what people love about it. The pieces keep falling into place to paint the picture of this piece of
Whereas Momo gets, oh man, I'm not the best.
I'm not confident.
And then the very next thing that she does of importance is just like, it's fine that I'm not the best. I'm still me and I'm still really good.
I have no confidence. You should have confidence.
Here's my confidence.
I have the confidence.
Grand opening, grand closing. Stuff like that.
I want to win and show people that I can do it on my own and make money for my parents. And you're out of here, Uraraka. I have to live up to my brother's legacy. You weren't a true hero in that moment, and I got to get better. You do that, Ida.
Right.
You do that, Ida.
I want to be hard and a man. And then he becomes hard and a man. And the development ends for 1A. And closed. Oh, Todoroki. My family. Nah. Okay. I'm going to start using my fire now. Oh. Great. But this, I understand Deuteragonist. That's fine. But he gets so much in compared to the other people. He doesn't need all these things. No. I always point to the Jiro. Oh man, my music. And he just rocks up just like, oh, let me tell you how I developed. And the camera just gets turned to him for some 3-4 pages. We don't need that. Have that be a sense of pride for Animal Dude or something.
Yeah, the makeup exam. He's the main guy.
Have that be a moment for Animal Dude showing his insecurities. It's like, I'm not a punch guy, but I'm still here. I'm still doing my best. That's what it's all about, doing your best. That'd been something for him. Why is he here if we ain't getting for the dude?
Tokiyama.
Invisible Girl showed her face, and that was it.
Hey, do you remember what she looked like?
I remember thinking she looks a little bit like Uraraka.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's about it. Please don't start just giving me some...
Save search on.
Oh yeah, they didn't even show the full thing. It's just showing like this transparent... What does this do? This is nothing. Showing her face is nothing but... Oh, there she is. That's all you get from this moment. It's meaningless. She doesn't have a relationship with Ayama. There's nothing like that.
Hey, Ayama's development. Grand opening, grand closing.
But it's not like she has a horribly deformed face and she has to like show her face in order to gain somebody's trust or anything. It is simply a moment of, oh yeah.
Hey, it would have been great with Mina, since people are talking about she was so scared of the big in the war arc, and that's why Kirishima needed to come in and save her instead of giving her the moment, still in the moment. Ugh. It would have been great if after Midnight dies, she's faced with that again, she gets that fear and goes, no, I have to overcome it. Instead, well, that's why Midnight died. Who's the jigger what?
I'm the one that killed Midnight. Me, why? And I loved it. I loved every second of it. Are you her students or something? Do you have any sort of emotional attachment? Why, yes, we do, sir. Oh, now we fight. Off screen. They aren't going back to that. They aren't going back to whatever.
How do you go from the big to back to Mina? And some dude we don't know.
Some dude!
Mina, Ayama, and some guy.
And it's not like in Mina, because Mina is with Hard Body, Kirishima. Mina's with Kirishima. It's not like their powers complement each other. The best you can do is like, he turns hard and she oozes the ground and he becomes like a bullet. That's about all. But then Homeboy just has to stand there like, oh no, the power of teamwork and Midnight's in team. Maybe they're probably just like, here's a pouch of Midnight's pheromone and throw them at him and just like, Midnight has defeated you.
It's her secretions acidic.
I think they said it tingles.
I got nothing for you then. Because if it's acidic, I can see them doing like he does like a wrecking ball thing and just kind of splashes it everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think that it's corrosive like that. Let me see. Mina allows it corrosive. I just said it wasn't corrosive.
Cool.
I said it wasn't corrosive like that. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
From her body, she can control of it. There's a limit to how long she can produce it gradually, until her skin gradually loses resistance to it. I don't remember that. It says that she can control how viscous it is, the viscosity.
Yeah, and if it's corrosive and it's not going to break through Kirishima, I can see some type of team-up attack there. Hey,
Yeah,
remember when Jiro just got a power-up that countered all for one?
I don't think that she's in melting people's skin. She's gooing people. I don't think that.
I mean, a hero is not gonna goo someone to death.
I don't know that. It could be a mistake. It would be like, I'm an Iron Man. Ha ha ha. And she goes, I need a little bit more goo. But then he just goes, actually, I can only use my iron for 10 seconds at a time. And then he gets gooed and then he starts melting. There's nothing she could do about that.
Boy, this would be a whole different manga.
It'd be a much better manga.
The Mina, I gotta get over melting a man arc.
Sure! I need to better control my powers. And then she maybe learns like her goo, and then she can, as she's throwing it and it lands on somebody, she can turn it off and on or and stuff like that. And she just goos everything and it's not corrosive until she makes it corrosive. And she has to learn that. Sure, whatever. You gotta melt a guy to do that, but who cares about some guy that she melted?
Is she gonna get, like Kirishima, is she gonna get some type of goo armor?
She already has Acid Man. Dude, we're not touching that fight. We ain't got time for that.
I mean, you don't know. Naruto has done it. Bleach has done it. One Piece has done it.
But Naruto has done it to a degree of. When did they go from big fight to smaller
fight?
Because I can understand the war arc. They go over to Sasuke. That's Sasuke. But they do just switch over to in Darui versus Kinkaku and Ginkaku. Never mind. And Samurai versus this other samurai that was just mentioned. But he's super strong, y'all. Please believe me. Holy crap, the war arc was horrible. Oh no, Hanzo! Cares about Hanzo? Never mind. But that was trash.
I didn't say it was good. But it's
done.
It's trash because it's a bunch of who the muffs are y'all and why the muffs do we care?
But
as opposed to at least we know who Mina is. At least we know who Ayama is.
But they're just fighting some people. Do we care about just some people?
We don't care. It's not like a character fight, a character moment of like Zenitsu having to fight his former co-protege or whatever. It's not some cathartic thing like that. But we at least know the players of the fight. Like, why do we care about Black Maria? I care about Robin. I love her. Hold on. Let me stop you, though.
They gave us reasons to care about the Tobiropo in their introduction. We see their interplay between each other. We see how they feel about Kaido. We see that they're all gunning for a higher position. We know all it is.
We know we've gotten very minute things, but I just wanted to see Robin's fight.
Absolutely.
And I didn't care if it was some just kind of strong nobody. I just wanted to see her. It depends.
I would absolutely.
I cared more about Black Maria than it would have been some nobody. And I was more invested in it because I liked Black Maria. But if Robin was fighting a strong person that I barely know about or don't really know about, I still would have been good with a Robin fight, just not as good.
Nah.
As long as the fight is good,
Nah, I would need a somebody, because if there's like, oh, they're all fighting Toby Ropo and then she's fighting a highlighter or a headliner, it's like.
But even if they're all
Luffy.
fighting the Toby Ropo, it could be somebody that wasn't really showcased.
But then we would have to really be like, why aren't they showcased? Because they all got really, they're, not huge amounts.
Yeah.
There's not too much to somebody like Sasaki. But, we got him, other than this dude rocking up going, I killed Midnight, mwahaha. And Ayama's fighting a flower guy that I don't even have the vague outline of what his design looks like.
But whoa! I couldn't even tell you his hair type. But the point being, we at least know the players there, so we will get something out of it.
But
as opposed to the war arc, where it's 7 people, and I know maybe one.
Just that Darui Kingaku Ginkaku crap was just like, what the actual are we doing here? This is nothing. Oh, he becomes one of the Kage later. So I gotta read Boruto for that. And I ain't doing that.
Boy, I haven't read
Holy
Boruto
crap.
forever.
This man has not appeared in 20 chapters.
The anime? I heard something from the anime where I'm like, oh no.
What?
Boruto? And this is just something I read, so it might not be confirmed, not be an actual thing that happened. Boruto gets Kurama. And I have never looked up if that's accurate. I just saw it while scrolling through something, and I want no parts of that.
I'm just going to say that is a lie, because there's literally no way that can be true. And everybody's going to be happy. And here I am, happy.
Are you happy, though? What are you looking up?
I'm looking up, I want to see Ayama's fight.
You don't want to see Ayama.
I know whoever that flower guy is. I'm so concerned about him. But I can't find it. This is the chapter that he last appeared in. Who are you? Oh, Blood Man.
I mean, if you got his name, shouldn't you just be able to Google search him?
Well, whose name?
The last chapter Flower Man appeared in.
No, not Flower Man. The Flower Man, that was the first and last appearance.
Oh.
And I don't know who he is, and I don't want to just search up Flower Man. Stop with the Discord!
We're mad we have an active Discord.
There's a time and place for everything. Chill out. Leave me alone. Because I want to know now. Because I'm curious about who that dude was. Absent. Flashback. Okay, that can't be. So is it? It can't be 355. And it's not 355. What does the Flower Man look like? Because you see, look, all of this. Right there. 345. And all the rest of these are absence. Oh, wait, appears. How did I miss that? I can't see.
You suck.
Yeah, okay, fine.
You
sure.
suck.
Appears and absent look the same. What chapter was that? 353. Endeavor. That's the chapter. Yep, there. Oh my goodness!
Oh, he looks like something from Naruto. Sasori before he changed into Pretty Boy.
But he's just here, and Ayama's just fighting with Fat Gum. And it's like, oh, Tartarus Jailbreaker. Uh-oh, I broke out of jail. Ah.
Who are you?
And then that's it. Who is this guy? And that was the problem with the jailbreak stuff. It was just a bunch of who the cares? One Piece, you go, that's Croc, that's Buggy, that's Mr. 3, that's Mr. 1. Eva. We don't know who Eva is, but we gonna.
We're gonna know all the people that Blackbeard took under his wing.
We're gonna learn that. Oh, here's Blackbeard as well. Here's Magellan. Why don't we know about Magellan? Because he works here. Why would we know about him if this is his job? The Marines clearly aren't going, all right, big Marine time, go get Magellan. No, that's his job over there. You'd think it'd be like, there was this huge muffin hero, one of the best of all time, super great sniper, who just went rogue and just started killing people. We had to send her to jail. This is what could happen to you if you become a hero. You could go down a dark path like Lady Nagant. Let this be a lesson. And then we have, Lady Nagant in our mind. And then she shows up like, oh, that's the killer Bam Bam lady. And she's like, oh no, I was manipulated in the system and blah. And you go, oh, now I feel sad about her. Not just...
And it furthers the system being broken for heroes.
But as she's being introduced, Snipe is just like, oh no, she's real good.
Yeah, I'm
y'all.
good. But there was one that was even better.
And that's what we got. And
Hey,
then
but we're getting the same thing with Airshot.
I love the salty run back I almost called him Hiro Mashi. When you on that level, Horikoshi tried to do, just sneak that under the radar. Muff, you said I'm gonna become his heart. You did not say I'm gonna suture his heart and do CPR. That is not what you said. We read that. Do not. You hold that L. Hey, Oda, you said this Katakuri was a Logia. He's a special paramecia. Holding my hands up on that. You don't put this I'm gonna become this man's heart. And it's like, well, not really. I'm gonna do what Best Genius just did, but better, and also do CPR from the inside. But I can't repair his broken bones or anything.
His shattered dreams.
But I'm just gonna do that and then do CPR, and I'm not gonna die, but it's gonna shorten my lifespan. Hey, that's not what you said!
Yeah, no. What's up with his brain?
What about all that?
What's up with his brain? The shock of the body. Blood loss.
Nothing. It don't matter.
It do not
Just
matter.
fix the heart and he's back up and he's fighting again. And he's the best of all of us.
I hope he's on borrowed time like Bruno.
No, because they're just going to find a way to fix them. Even better, even more, even gooder.
Aries going to turn it back on him.
Just run it back.
This is the salty right.
Genius did his best to suture this, but he couldn't stop the bleeding or repair all the internal damage. But you can?
Yeah, because he's thin enough to do it. He's going to go inside and wriggle through Bakugo sweetly.
Tears, drained of power, beaten, resorting to biting All Might in a humbled attempt of resistance. Bakugo will give anything to win, even his pride, it seems. Bakugo's pride is something we've mentioned many times throughout this video.
So is Bakugo's concern winning or being the best?
Winning or looking like he's the best. Is it just being the best or showcasing that you're the best by not needing help or accepting help?
It's really what his driving factor is at its core. His refusal to admit defeat, his denial of being beneath anyone. Even when All Might shows concern for him, he shakes it off and says he's fine. Bakugo's pride is what made him tell Midoriya to stay away when he was kidnapped by the League of Villains. He didn't want his...
He's basically in there! What is he supposed to do? He's got 2 bandaged up arms! Yes, come get me!
Quick!
Weakling appeared to try to save him once more, further proving his own outlook wrong. And so, here we are, once again talking about how Bakugo always seems to find himself at odds with Midoriya in one way or another. Bakugo really is the foil for the hero of this story. He always seems to play second fiddle to Midoriya, and that will never be something he will ever be content with. Bakugo's ideals will always contradict Midoriya's in some way.
It's something he has an issue with, because you see he doesn't have as much issue as with Todoroki. It's because he saw Deku is weak and wants to keep him from under his heel.
Quick to anger, never to fall to his insecurities, and this moment is the biggest development for Bakugo in the series. One dynamic, changing battle against Midoriya. Their fight after Midoriya passes the provisional license exam and Bakugo's failure to do the same. The hot-headed powerhouse versus the overthinking chosen one. This battle is Bakugo's anger laid.
But wouldn't Deku also kind of be the chosen one?
No, he's saying Deku is the chosen one.
But okay, so in that case, isn't Bakugo, doesn't he see himself as the chosen one since he's gone 13 or so
as
years?
Mark and not as Bakugo.
So what does Bakugo see this as?
To bear. He admits his guilt in thinking he's the reason All Might lost his power, and that it was because of his weakness in failing to save himself that caused all of this to happen. He questions why Midoriya was chosen and not someone like him. He finds anger in the fact that Midoriya has progressed so much despite always being...
Why were you chosen to have any level of power when I could have gotten more power? When I could have been just
even more
3
power.
times stronger than you instead of just 1.5 times stronger? Why couldn't I have more?
The follower in the past. He believes Midoriya is looking down on him, when in the end, in reality...
He believes Midoriya is looking down on you. As Midoriya constantly extends hands to help, to comfort him, to try to talk to him as a friend.
Hey, you're
to
saying
try to look at him as an
weak.
equal.
Nope.
All this stuff, and Bakugo's still just like, don't look down on me. Hey, Kachan, shut the f up. How dare you look down on me? I'm saying hi, motherfucker.
Wants to be as powerful as he is. It is here, in this fight, this culmination of anger and guilt, that Bakugo realizes and admits to himself that Midoriya has finally surpassed him. Bakugo tells Midoriya that he will surpass the one chosen by All Might himself, their childhood hero. Katsuki Bakugo is an angry character who serves as the foil and the rival to our main character, Izuku Midoriya. In the way they fight, in the way they live, in the way they treat people, and in the way they hope to be heroes. It's power versus heart. The climactic battle between the two of them only cements this. And as director Joss Whedon once said, recognizing power in another does not diminish your own. That was the biggest lesson Bakugo...
Why doesn't he realize that?
That's a tug of the collar.
Why? Shut up. It's fine. Nobody's canceled. Why is he still yelling at the number, what is she, 4 hero, Miriko? 4 or 5.
Somewhere in that area.
Why is he bickering with her instead of accepting her leadership? When she has faced down Nomus and had her arm and leg ripped off. She's there for a reason. What reason was Bakugo there for?
Because Deku was supposed to be there. And that was supposed to be Bakugo, Deku, and Miriko.
What reason is Bakugo there for?
Best genius or whatever. Because he's a strong fighter. He's one of their powerhouses.
No, he's not. It has to be just because he was there for the war and knows the power of Shiggy and all that stuff.
Everybody should know the power of Shiggy at this point. It's been like 6 months.
Oh, well, sure, but he was there firsthand.
So?
He was there firsthand, and if a dude rocks up and just like and then he just sort of peels off his face and he's another guy and he starts burning away and he can touch you and all this stuff, I'd be afraid if that was the first time.
I'd be freaked out if it was the first time I saw it, but that doesn't mean anything. You're a pro hero.
It's that hesitation.
You're a pro hero.
It's that hesitation. You can't be having that.
Okay, Bakugo's dead, so how much could it possibly help?
I mean, not much, but I questioned why he was there in the first place.
Yeah, we kind of both
had to learn to realize that he could be more than he ever thought he could be, as well as heeding the words of All Might when he says that you can win by saving people, not just through sheer strength. These are significant changes and emotional ones to see unfold in the character. This series...
But it doesn't improve his attitude, because when, at the time of the Endeavor thing, that fight was before the Endeavor thing, right?
Which fight?
The Bakugo versus Deku.
Which Endeavor thing?
The Endeavor intern.
Oh, yeah, this is way before.
Yeah, just making sure, because it mixes up. But Deku saves people... Oh, yeah, because Black Whip. Deku saves people, and he goes, is everybody alright? And Bakugo saves people like, run, idiots! Why are we not working to improve his attitude in that mindset? He's internally just like, oh, I guess it's kind of fine to not be the best all the time, but you still want to be
help
and need help. But you still want to be a hero, but you don't want to do the hero stuff other than just saving people and getting the recognition. I don't understand the mindset, his mindset of it's fine to just yell at people who are in distress instead of just comforting them or anything. But then that goes over to the edgy Deku stuff.
Even this character are incredibly well written, I think. Moments feel earned, very few things feel forced, and as a result, these characters come to life.
What feels forced, Mark? I wonder.
Hey, you mean like Bakugo screaming all his frustrations and sadness at Deku?
We despise Bakugo at the beginning, but throughout the series, layers to his character are revealed, and
No, I still despise him.
Yeah. I don't care
He's
about the
still a
layers.
piece of shit.
I don't care why a person becomes a murderer. They're still a murderer. I watch a bunch of those crime documentaries. I don't give a Oh,
Hey,
no, you were abused.
Some people were just nice people.
Yeah.
And then they went, I'm a kill.
But you've made the choice. Every time that you yell at people, you yelling at them to give me your trash. You don't need to. But you do. You choose to. And I'm not going to have sympathy for you when you're choosing to make an action. It's not like you have some sort of mental illness where you're like, I am programmed to be the best. This is the only choice. No, you're making this choice. You're seeing the faults within yourself and choosing not to change them. And no, kill that noise.
Is just a kid that has extremely high aspirations for himself and is willing to do what it takes to achieve them, which is
and he has that's the problem. He has the same mindset that he did when he was a kid.
When he was 6.
When he was 6. You shouldn't have that. There shouldn't be some big life moment that changed your series of life moments. You should, within yourself, to be like, dang, nah, maybe it should be one little thing. You just go, maybe it's not right to treat people like that.
Or a bunch of little things.
Or a bunch of little things. Or if somebody treats you like crap and going, hey, it feels bad to be treated like crap.
I have a question. If Deku never made it to UA, what would Bakugo say to him 6 months later? Would he still treat him like garbage?
I think he would. Just based off the fact of you wanted to get in, but you didn't, but because you're trash. I don't think that there's a run back for this dude.
If Deku never got his powers, what is the relationship of Deku and Bakugo?
There just might not be one, because Bakugo will be like, I'm so above you, there's no point in talking to you. Or maybe he could just be like, there's nothing to prove now. I'm above you, I'm provably above you, you're beneath me, and maybe he starts talking to him like a normal person. I don't know.
Because a lot of the things that helped Bakugo change in UA was Deku. Like the class scrum, where is Deku and Uraraka versus Ida and Bakugo. Mm-hmm. If Deku is not there, he does not run off and do some crazy, which means he does not get reprimanded by the rest of the class, where it's like, you're an idiot for doing this, you failed in this. He might just straight up win. So then that doesn't change. The getting captured by the class doesn't change. Like if his power was Mirio, what
he actually gets his fight with Todoroki.
admirable, if not respectable. And watching him as he stumbles and falls and becoming a better human being is, in essence, the magic of great storytelling.
No, he's a garbage person that's slightly better, and people are like, he's the greatest. He's still garbage.
He's a trash man, and I don't understand this mindset of he's not a trash man.
Just trash.
He would not accept Deku's hand, and Deku knew that.
You can't dismiss something like that. Oh, but you know how the series is going to end. Deku's going to reach out that hand, and Bakugo's going to take it. And it's going to be a full circle. You know it's coming.
Dude, if that happens.
What do you mean if?
I can't even, like, I'm gonna drop the series because that's gonna be the last panel.
It's gonna be Bakugo falling like into an abyss with Shigaraki and Deku blasted and he's falling. Deku runs down and reaches out his hand and Bakugo's gonna take it and they're gonna fly up together. They're both worn out, but together they're gonna be able to fly back up.
And then his heart's just not gonna explode again.
Correct. It's coming, y'all.
It's change. It's conflict. Believable human change that we could all relate to.
I don't relate to being a garbage human
absolutely do
being
not.
and then being a roughly fine human being.
I don't relate to living a lie and then continuing to live that lie, even though I admit that it's a lie. I'm sorry, that's not me. And even if I did relate to it, I guess I'm a terrible person too.
If I related to it, that would mean that I saw that horrible person in Bakugo, which means I probably wouldn't relate to it because I'd be a sociopath.
I don't think people would relate to Bakugo in the, dang, he's a piece of crap, but he's learning. I don't think people be like, I'm the piece of crap and I'm learning. No, they'd be doing the same action and it'd be like Bakugo's a piece of crap. People aren't gonna look inside themselves like that.
It's just like the CM Punk thing where he's like, people being unprofessional. And then he goes off on that medium scrum. Like, what are we doing? Oh, he is donezo.
Dude, get him out of here. He's a glass cannon. He can't wrestle 3 matches without tearing something.
He can't wrestle 12 minutes without being gassed. He's
get him
out
out
7-8 months because of this injury. And people are saying that's probably why he went off, because he knew he was already going to be shelved anyway.
I understand he's a name. He brings in butts to seats. But is there anybody outside the Punk marks that are just like, yeah, this is a good match?
And what's funny is Punk brought a lot of people in, and people were like, he's not even in my top 10 or 20 in AEW right now. I don't give a shit about Punk.
Because he's not that good.
He's not that good. When you see all these performers in the ring and on the mic, and it's just like, this is tremendous. Dude, there was no mention of the Elite or Punk last night, and they put on a fantastic Dynamite. Fantastic Dynamite. And I think that was very much we don't need y'all.
We still got it. You not making us. We making you.
Yeah, I don't see how you don't fire Punk at least. The Elite are probably still going to stay, but I don't see how you don't fire Punk.
One form or another. Now, Bakugo isn't finished growing or changing by any means. And something tells me we are in for a
I would ask Mark, do you think that it's a problem that he's not finished growing or changing when people aren't getting a fraction of what he's getting? We don't know anything about Tentacle, an Animal Guy, Tail Man.
Can we run through so many of the grand opening and grand closes? Manada, Gentle, La Brava, Momo. Mina's getting close. She's about to grand. Kirishima, grand opening, grand closing. Jiro.
Nejire.
Manada.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Sun Eater. Airy.
Just single points of no development, bam, big development, and now they are who they are. Or there's small changes from then on out. But this dude, he's just all these huge, monumental chipping away at it. And nobody's getting any of that. And what Tokoyami? He's got a design, he's got a power, he's got a personality. He's not one of the tail dudes or whatever.
Oh,
he's done stuff.
He's not Zero.
Zero. He's done stuff.
What does Zero make you so mad?
Because I always forget about him. But Tokoyami has done stuff, but he hasn't really done anything. He's a completely stagnant character. Hasn't really learned, haven't really grown at all. We don't know about his past or anything. I was just like, for the longest time, I'm like, oh yeah, the bird. That's his quirk. That's part of his quirk. No, just a random mutation. So I'm like, can we talk about his family life? Can we talk about him growing up as a bird dude with a shadow? A shadow that he couldn't control until he got into high school? Can we talk about any of this? No? Okay then.
What? And this is so weird because what stopped him from being a villain versus someone like Spinner? Because Spinner was ostracized and that's why he became a villain. And here's this bird guy
dude
with a shadow that attacks people.
It's not even like he's a super personable bird dude. He's weird and creepy and just off to his own. It just says stoic. I'm just saying, because I just don't understand why he gets so much and other people just get almost nothing. Yeah. The whole I'm gonna tell mask dude. That's why that's the point of the mask. That's what the mask is. That's why he wears the mask, is because he was hated on his back in his hometown, and I'm gonna add that in a little data book. Why not talk to somebody about this? Why not talk to another character who might have a visual deformity that might ostracize them, and then they have that camaraderie. Froppy, she's a frog. She's just a dumb frog girl. Have them talk like, hey, how's life been treating you as an other? Have like secret meetings.
Why are there even people that are treated like others when this is such uniformity in the way people look and their sizes and stuff?
Almost everybody is an other. But then there's that whole kids are cruel thing.
I understand kids, but once you're like a teenager, once you're in a high school of other quote unquote mutants, would you? There's just long finger people.
And that's their quirk.
There's a spray bottle man. If it's a costume, I can't remember.
We don't know.
We read through both possible outcomes.
Yeah, there is. I think that was his one and only appearance. I know Det drew a picture of him with the thing off, which was horrifying, and I don't like to think about that. But yeah, who knows?
Just a costume.
What do you mean? It's not just a costume. He's a spray bottle man.
Treat one of these days coming, and I personally cannot wait. But that'll do it for this week. I've been Totally Not Mark. Thank you so much for watching.
It's like an 8.
Yeah. I'm just sick of the Bakugo love. I understand. It's development. That's fine. He went from a 0 to a 7. That's a big jump. But it's not a very good jump. It's a noticeable jump. It's a jump that you can point to and just go, look, development. That's absolutely fine. But it doesn't need to be that drastic of a jump to be like, yeah, development. I love Usopp's No More Pirate Game stuff. Yeah. Has he grown from that? Little moments. But it wasn't a complete flip of the coin. That was a 1 to a 2. And he has various 1 moments that's building him up.
Like, don't make fun of Luffy.
Don't make fun of
Luffy. Or
Luffy.
I'll fight you, Luigi, boss cat.
Or I'll fight you, Luffy, for the ship. Or don't kill the Tontanas. I'll be your hero. Man, he's so good. I would much rather those small moments. So when a big moment of heroism happens, where he just saves everybody, where he does something, you can look back and just go, these little things were adding up. Not this big, I'm screaming about how I'm inferior, but no longer. I don't like that type of stuff. Yeah. Hopefully no more Bakugo stuff. Until the end.
We also gotta come back to
Bakugo stuff.
That one Bakugo video from
Oceanus.
Boy, I am loving his descent.
The heel turn. It's hilarious.
Who could have seen this coming from a mall? But you know what? I am very happy he's not a bum just barreling ahead like Masako.
Yeah.
Just barreling ahead like, no, this is fantastic stuff.
This is deep Dragon Ball, so it may not be amazing, but it's still Dragon Ball.
So that means it's pretty... The floor for Dragon Ball is pretty good. Unless it's outright horrendous.
Nah.
I'm glad he's not doing that. Where he's... No, this is trash. What are we doing here, Horikoshi?
Hilarious.
Happy for that man.
The worst thing is the people defending this Ed shot garbage.
How can you?
He's a nobody, and that's what it's supposed to be. The nobodies are supposed to carry and are supposed to be the people that win and carry the future and stuff like that. It's like, well, he's a nobody to us because we don't know who this mother is.
He's a pro hero.
But he's a pro hero. He's like number 3. He's not a nobody in the world. Shut that up. He shouldn't just be able to suture a heart and somehow just do CPR on this man.
Why does it even extinguish some of his life going that thin? Does it hurt his heart? Does it hurt his brain? Does it hurt the cells in his body?
Is it just like I use this much amount of my string, so I'm missing an arm and a leg now? And as he does more and more, like, that's another arm, that's another leg. Now I'm just a torso. Now I lost my junk. My string junk.
That would be interesting, at least.
Yeah, just have, like, a visual representation of, like, what's going on in his mind. Like, this is an arm worth of string that I'm using up here. No, he was gonna become his heart, but no. I mean, I was gonna sew his heart together. Is that what Best Gene is gonna do? Yeah, but I'm doing it better.
Let me see what the official translation said.
Yeah, I was just on it.
Cause you know we you know what we do. Did I delete it from my Kindle? Which means I'm gonna have to go through Shonen. Yep, still got it here though. My hero. Boop, biddy, boop, biddy, boop. Whoa, are they ahead? Okay, I may need to read that then. What is it, My Hero?
Yeah, I think that's what the show is called.
It's hard to tell sometimes, you know. Oh, shut the up, Shonen Jump app. I know how to read a manga.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
This body of mine can mend each organ inside and out while aiding in cardiopulmonary function. I shall revive his heart and lungs from the inside. Keep fighting Genius and Miracle.
Nope, I was talking about this part. I will be the boy's heart. Yeah, that's what it says in the official translation, y'all.
And then he just goes, no, but what I meant was... Wash was good enough to give me one of his bubbles. I'll sterilize my body with this. Here you go.
Cool.
Let me just go into his huge gaping chest wound that will be there once his heart... Infections? What's that? The elements, dust and all this in about. What's that? Dust in this open chest wound.
That's been there for minutes.
We just gotta sew his heart back together.
Loss? Where is
blood
the
loss?
Blood loss?
So his blood loss is just gonna be fine in the middle of a battlefield. That's fine.
Thumbs
We're
up.
good, knit motherfucker. All this stuff we need to think about, and this muff is sterilizing with a bubble. Look at this. Look at all this blood coming from his mouth.
What's the problem?
That's from his mouth.
What's the problem?
Oh, I forgot. Indabi came back. I did your cold fire thing. But Dabi, he did that because of his ice. And you don't have the ice. No, but I did it though. I'm just not gonna think about this. Look, he's got the big X on his chest like Endeavor's outfit. Isn't that cool? Look, oh no, he burned up. Who did he burn? Who the did it? What? I not remember they said this mother's name.
What's the problem here?
Onima. Who is Onima? Onima, no. Who? Do you have a Wikipedia? He does.
I'm just gonna let him go, y'all.
He's a pro hero and one of the over 30 sidekicks who works with Endeavor. He was in 2 arcs. After the Hoshi incident and the capture of Stain, Kido and Onima are responsible for guarding the Nomu who was defeated by Gran Torino until he was arrested by the police. Excellent, that is that one. And then in the joint training guard, he was there with Bakugo, you know, rocks up there with the Endeavor and all of that. And then he is Dust.
Cool.
Fantastic. Great stuff there.
Good.
Oh no. Oh no, Onima. While his full quirk is not known, just like Kido, he is one of the flaming sidekicks to not possess a flame-based quirk. So we don't even know his mother's quirk.
That is correct. What's the problem?
Onima's quirk is not known, but it's implied to make him resistant to extreme heat. So we don't even get what his is. It's an implication.
We don't even get what he is.
394.
Bro, it's over. What are we
It's not over. Onima's dead, and we have to mourn him.
This was a dark day for Haplin.
I agree. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, for some reason, that Happy Town trailer has just been stuck in my head for a couple of days. The Magic Man has come home. Why do they call him the Magic Man? He had an ability that bordered on the mystical. 6
So here it is.
Vanished.
So Onima, our best friend Onima, goes, Kido, stay back. You can't take that much heat with that body of yours, right? Implying that he can take that much heat. That is the implication.
What's the problem?
And he's burned to a crisp, and Todoroki has a reaction. And he is a crispity, crunchity muff, so we can't even tell who he is. Todoroki has to scream it, and we have to go, Cassidy. Who? Who is that? And then go to his Wikipedia and just go, his quirk was implied to have this. Fantastic.
They'll explain it.
He's dead.
Don't you know they're going to have some after book of just, here's all the quirks and what they did and their limitations.
I
and
don't care.
How can you not care? It's greatness.
We got maybe 3 more months of this if Horikoshi is to be believed.
We're
There's
probably not
no
closing
way.
out the year.
But then again, I'm like, okay, once they get through it, either they're going to have to beat up All For One and then turn Shiggy, or that was always my mindset of just like, they're going to have to beat both of them one way or the other. Either or Shiggy's going to turn and they just have to beat All For One. That's the only 2 options in my mind. Not in All For One just going, yeah, I got rewind, but it just keeps rewinding. I'm just going to be
I can't control it.
So I'm just going to leave it all to him.
I'm glad it stays in my prime state for 4 years.
You don't have some sort of nullification quirk? I guess, whatever.
Hey, if he got shot with the nullification bullet, would it take away all of his quirks? Or does it take away All for One's ability to steal and utilize quirks?
If we assume that it works the same way that Eraserhead does, it's just a full on.
You can't use any quirks. But
Just
no,
nothing.
because they were like, they were still using quirks with two people taking away quirks. Shiggy and All for One, Eraserhead and the kid that was with them, it was just like, they were still using quirks and stuff.
Who?
Shigaraki and All for One.
When?
In the latest chapters, the wars are, there's the kid and...
No, Monoma?
I thought the quirks were like weakened or something. I thought they were still using...
With the Razorhead, they're gone. But the all those big hands, that's just a dumb mutation that's just new. And shut up.
That's a quirk!
No, it's not. They said it's not.
I hate
Because otherwise, if it wasn't, he'd just be able to punch
I'm about
everybody's
to
head
read
off.
Liar Sasuke and see that.
Don't read that. The quirk-destroying drug refers to a substance that is capable of damaging the genetic mechanisms that compose a person's quirk. The drug was created, blah, blah, blah. At the moment, the only known method, blah, 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 alongside, blah, 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 2 people in possession, blah, blah, blah. These products are high priced, blah, blah, blah. It is unknown if there's an antidote, blah, blah, blah. The history. What does it do? Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Cool.
It just does it. That's what it does.
This Saturday, we're finishing up Dritz, and then we'll do whatever we want for the next month. We're out of here.
Hopefully, the schedule is back online of just a video and a stream a week. Hopefully.
We do too much for y'all.
We didn't do enough, really.
Based on what?
Based on what?